All right, so let me reset the room. Again, my name is Shatika Hesser, and I am actually a newer, should I say, financial services planner. So I'm someone that's looking to help people level up in their finances so that they can retire literally before they expire. That's my slogan, and that's kind of what I'm all about, really. So why do I say retire before they expire? Because like I said before, my story is to help people that are looking to retire, but literally retire ahead of schedule. Because that's so important. Because as I began to mention, there's a couple of my friends that literally, their life terminated ahead of schedule, right? Like they wasn't planning on it, they didn't know, but unfortunately, because of the flu, they both expired sooner than later, and unfortunately, they didn't really live their full life. So like they live life by default and not by design. And it was disheartening to see that at without any warning, notification, or anything, literally within 4 days, somebody is one of my closest friends in South Carolina, one of my closest friends in Georgia, both expired within 4 days in 2018 in March. So what everybody's experiencing now, I experienced back in 2018. And I just want to see more people live their full life, live life with, with more purpose, and live life by design and not necessarily by default. It's one thing to just work, work, work. And it's another whole thing to live life in its fullness, right? So in order to do that, most times people need to retire. In order to retire, they'll need that finance, right? They need their income to be structured to such an extent that they'll be able to leave their job, right? Nothing wrong with a job, but if all you have is a job, a lot of times people will never retire, just like, what Warren Buffett says. And, if unless you figure out a way to make money while you're sleeping, there's no way almost that you can retire, right? It's just unrealistic. And Robert Kiyosaki says that, the gentleman that wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, in order to get on the right side of money, you have to go from the left side of the quadrant to the right side of the quadrant. And what is that right side of the quadrant? That's where the 1% of investors live. That's where the 4% business owners live. And the other 95% of people are on the wrong side of money, and they trade time for money. Rather, they're trading time for money with their own jobs, or they're trading time for money in their businesses. So that is something that I'm looking to help people with in terms of becoming an investor as well as a business owner. So that's really what this is all about for me. So that's one thing, but also living benefits. So this particular product actually gives people living benefits. And a lot of people, when they think of insurance products, they think of products of, they think about the old type of insurance. They don't think about the new type of insurance, which actually allows you to be able to use those products whenever you become chronically, critically, or terminally ill. Right. So a lot of people don't plan for dementia, heart attacks, strokes, and things of that nature, cancer. But all of those can be 80% of those can be covered if you have the right insurance products. So just like we have insurance on our cars, our homes, we need to have that same type of insurance on our body, right? So that we can not have to go into our retirement income and have to use that, unfortunately, for medical expenses. So this product actually provides that to people, right? So most people don't plan for that. And that's it. That's where we kind of like differ, right, Jennifer? Like the term versus the products that I'm talking about. Like a lot of people aren't disciplined to invest the rest. So the goal is to just help them be disciplined to invest that into a product that's going to literally make money for them. Like a lot of people put their money into stocks and things like that, but those have really high risk factors. When you put it into an insurance product, like a lot of the wealthy do, they know that that's a secure place, right? Like it's actually an index product, which means that there cannot be a level less than zero, right? In other words, there cannot be a loss. So it's like a safe haven for your money, right? It's different from the stock market in that respect. We have products that have made, like, for example, last year, 27% return on investment, right? Like there's some stocks that don't make 6%, let alone 27%, right? But at the end of the day, people that don't know how to invest, this is a great vehicle to help them to learn how to invest, right? So that's pretty much what I'm talking about today. And it would be nice if you guys have any followers, if you guys can ping people into the room, if you feel like this can benefit them. So definitely we want to make sure that we ping as many people. I'm just going to take a quick second right now because that's something I didn't really do, but I definitely want to ping some more people into the room. So any questions or comments, I can pause right here while I ping some people in. I'm not going to definitely message anybody. I'm just going to ping whoever's in here, in my following, I should say.
I would like to add some value to the room just in regards to this particular topic, because I certainly invested in that myself multiple years ago, and certainly it is paying forward on the front side of me that I'm able to retire at an earlier age because of the fact of the investments from a product such as what you're talking about, that gives you the capacity to have a monthly living expense where you're not having to rob Peter to pay Paul. And it's outside of the penalty of a 401k plan, because you have to be 59 and a half in order for you to tap into your 401k without penalty. So many people invest in just that vehicle alone, but the investment of this vehicle itself allows the money to work for you on the front side while it still pays you to rest on the back.
Now you said a lot there, Shanika, and I'm just going to reset the room really quickly for those that just came in. We're basically talking about a product that's going to be able to help you to literally level up in your finances a lot sooner. So it really is about individuals that may be behind. I like to call this the catch-up plan, right? So if you're behind on your retirement, this is going to help you catch up really quickly, and probably more quickly than any other product that I've seen out there, right? So at the end of the day, most people want to retire sooner than later, and this is one way that we can allow that to happen. And I'm going to actually call Shirley up to be a moderator as well. Actually, one of the people that introduced me to this space. So thank you for joining us, Shirley. But basically, just to continue to reset the room, the goal is to help people to understand that there's products out there that can help you to catch up with your retirement so that you can leave sooner than later. So the way this works is for every, and I don't know how to mute people, guys. Let me see. How do I unmute?
You do good.
Yeah, I was just trying to. There's some background noise, so if everybody can put themselves on mute. But the goal is to just make sure that people understand that for every dollar that they invest, that they will actually receive $3 back on average, right? And this money is safeguarded. So it's not like the stock market, so to speak, right? So like this money is going to allow you to be able to build cash value quicker than any other product, any other retirement product that I know of that's out there, right? So at the end of the day, it's about how can I level up in my retirement fund, right? So this thing, like I said before, it's more than just that, though. It gives you the living benefits. Shaniqua kind of touched on a little bit, but living benefits is if you get chronically, critically, or terminally ill, this is going to allow you the opportunity to not have to dig into your retirement fund to have to pay for medical expenses, which so many people do in their retirement age. 60% of bankruptcies are caused by people that didn't plan properly for their retirement, right? In terms of having to pay for medical expenses. So this particular policy will allow you to be able to not have to go bankrupt to try to pay for, say for example, you have cancer. We had a young lady that had cancer, just to give a case study really quickly. She needed $80,000 for her formula. Well, this $80,000, she didn't have to come out of her pocket because she properly planned. And this particular policy was able to literally pay that $80,000, and she was able to live as a result, right? Instead of some people saying, well, I just can't afford it, and then they don't have that medical expense covered. So honestly, this is like, to me, like the best of the best when it comes to not only retirement, but also medical expenses and living benefits, because the old style would only be beneficial to the people that you leave behind. But this one is going to allow you to be able to use that money for medical expenses. You can use that money for houses, for building a house, for funding your new business, for your college expense, for your children, for your children's wedding, your wedding, a lot of different things that people, if you wanted to buy a boat, a house, whatever. But, people look at, well, I want to put my money in stocks. And then when the stock market crashes, their money is gone. But this product is more secure in that the floor is zero. Like, you cannot lose. Like, it's a safe haven for your money. And that is what we're talking about on tonight. We're talking about a product that's going to allow you to be able to literally level up in your finances so that you can retire sooner than later without any losses.
Hi, Shatika.
Hi.
Good. Yes.
So we got Shirley from Shirley Lou and Associates on as a moderator today. I know she don't have a whole lot on her profile. She's kind of new to the Clubhouse, so we definitely want to welcome you, Shirley, to the room, and definitely as a moderator, as someone that's been in this space for like 16 years. So, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Shatika. You're right. This is the first platform, and I see so many beautiful people, pictures on here. It's amazing. And I guess, to tag on to what Shatika was saying, if you think in terms of retirement savings, every one of you on this call right now, I know you're expert at it. I know you've got the traditional 401k, IRA, mutual fund stocks, all those kind of things that you tend to play in the marketplace all the time, right? But like Shatika said, what if you knew there were packages and stuff like that available out there that could jumpstart your retirement? Guys, the smart way to do retirement is using somebody else's money, okay? 1 to 3 matching, and she's not kidding. She's very real when she tells you that. Not sure, the credential between Shatika and I am on Channel 7 News, Channel 5 News, Channel 9 News, and getting ready to be on several other TV pilot show that's going to be coming on board, doing these financial education, literally. We try to educate folks. So what I want to do is I want to pick somebody for a minute. Ida, are you there? Ida? I see Ida, Jasmine, Donnelly, I believe. I would love any of you guys to come on. Jasmine, hey, can you add Jasmine on as a speaker for a minute? Okay, because I do want to talk to Jasmine. Hey, Jasmine.
Hey, Shirley, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, really, really good. So Jasmine, would you be kind enough to kind of have a dialogue with me a little bit, okay, on this? Okay, beautiful. Typically, would you say that, let's say you work for a company and they have what's called 401k, right?
Yes.
Okay. And every month, every paycheck, you take money out. And you have to put the money in now until you retire, 60, 65, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And with a 401k, you get matching, right? Because you say, hey, free money is good money, I'm going to do that. Or you go above and beyond. Now, 3 things situation with your 401k. Would you agree if the stock market makes money, you make money?
Yes.
Right? But if it loses, what happens to that money? You also loses with it as well.
Yep.
That's right. But also, the 401k itself really doesn't have a stream of income, right? Because why? It's just basically, okay, whatever you save, that's the money you can take out plus interest on the investment in the long term.
Right.
If you're assuming putting in $200 every paycheck into a 401k, something happened to you, like Shatika said, we had a situation, a young lady, she was 26 years old, has breast cancer. And you needed the money in a 401k. How much do you think that 401k is going to give you if this just happened to you, right? Well, guess what? It's going to give you $200 or $400 or whatever amount you have, or $1,000, So that's not going to solve the problem with it, with the financial education piece of it, right? But, Jasmine, what if I told you, you look very young, where you have an opportunity, let's say you put in $20,000, I have a lender who come in match you 60. Instead of 20,000, you now have 60 on top. You understand?
Yep.
Okay. And you do it for 5 years, Jasmine. You don't ever have to do it again. 5 years and you're done with. Okay.
Okay.
So the minute you put in 20,000, if anything happens to you, it becomes a $1.5 million tax-free death benefit for your family. The minute if you have the situation, like remember I said, like things like heart attack, strokes, Alzheimer, cancer, anything at all, chronic illness, critical illness, the cash become a $1.5 million, Jasmine. And let's say you didn't get sick. You're fine. You say, I'm pretty healthy. But instead, at age 55, you say, you know what? I really need money right now. I'm sick and tired working. I want to start getting a stream of income for retirement. What if that account could give you $40,000, $50,000 tax-free stream of income every year from age 55 all the way to the day you kick the bucket?
That'd be great.
And on top of it, guess what? It's not even just that piece of it alone, right? It gives you an ability to, let's say, during the time that you get this money accumulated in there, like Shatika said, you may say, you know what? I don't want to get a stream of income, but it'll be kind of cool. I want to open this business, or maybe down payment in a house for $200,000 down. The account has that ability, and guess what else too? It's performance with the S&P stock market. Mm-hmm. Meaning, Jasmine, if the stock market makes money, you will make money. If the market loses, you don't lose a dime. Okay, that's the power of it. Where's index? And guys, I'm talking to you. It's not just Shirley Lou streaming and talking about this. No, I got real client, real statement, real things. I'm not sure if Shatika showed you because I joined a little bit late. But I just won, our team won 295,000 client contract, guys. And again, let me reemphasize this. This next product that we're talking about, it's going to be on air. It's going to be marketed. I just got off the phone today with the CEO president of EMI, who was the one that organization published this magazine for Forbes magazine. Have you heard? Oprah magazine. You've heard of USA Today. You've heard of Bloomberg. All those guys. I just joined forces with those marketing firms that are going to take what I'm telling you right now across the entire US of A. And with that being said, you know, in March, I literally have a book coming out talking about that and talk about the other stuff. So what I'm trying to say to you guys, just because you haven't heard of it, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, guys. These are the next generation of stuff, you know, that's really dynamic, that's happening. So, Jasmine, I'm going to give you another scenario, okay? So, the other day, I talked to a prestigious company, CEO, president. I said, hey, let me ask you a question. Do you give your employee bonuses? And he says, well, yeah, we give the executive in our company around $10,000 bonus every year. And I said, okay, so if you give, let's say, Jasmine is the employee, you gave her $10,000 bonuses. By the time federal, state, taxes, Social Security takes out, what does Jasmine walk away with? $7,000, right? Because you got to pay state and federal and all that. Would you agree, Jasmine?
Yeah, I would agree.
So, right. So I went to this corporate executive and I said, let me ask you this. Would you allow me to talk to Jasmine? And I'm going to give your company a proposal. It's going to knock your socks off. And here's how we do it. I'm going to talk to Jasmine and say, hey, Jasmine, would you be okay, instead of them cutting you a check, $10,000, that you're only going to net $7,000, we're going to create a retirement plan that we take that $10,000, put it in, and we're going to have a lender come in matching 30. Which way do you think Jasmine's going to go? Do you think she's going to say, no, give me a check, $7,000, or no, let's create a retirement plan for me so that 5 years, this thing is done with. After 15 years, I can start stream of income if I needed to. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, I started this program because I learned about 3 years ago. Within 2 years, I have over 200 companies signing up. Every entrepreneur that knows me, that knows us, that get together with us, they said, okay, Shirley, I'm a dentist. Show me the program. Instead of putting into a regular traditional IRA, can we put into this program? It is fastest growing dynamic. And I'm challenging, you know, every one of you that's on this call, you know, to reach out to us, to really learn more, you know, on a live call, or whether it's a Zoom or and all that, so that you can ask intelligent questions. Or you may say, hey, Shatika, can you do me a favor? Run me an illustration at my age. What do I have to put in for 5 years, you know? So, given that said, you know, I'm willing to let it open up for question that anybody want to ask me anything at all, and I'd be happy to share with you and give you the direct answer.
Thank you for that, Shirley, and definitely want to open the room up to any questions. But I want to reset the room because we have some more people to come in. We're actually talking about what we call the Kaizen plan, and so basically, it's a plan that allows individuals that's looking to level up in terms of their retirement funds to do that quickly with bank financing. So basically, for every dollar that you put in, the bank is going to match you with $3. But there is, a requirement of having, six-figure income, rather be household combined income or your individual income. But once that happens, you are actually eligible. There is no like loan for you to I should say, you don't have to qualify per se, except for just have that income coming into your home. And once that happens, boom, you can actually do like what I like to call a catch-up plan in terms of your retirement. So now all that you have to do is pay 5 years, and they're going to literally match what you were paying for 5 years for the next 10 years. That's going to sit for 15 years or 65, whichever one comes sooner. You'll be able to receive a check for the rest of your life, basically. That's what we're talking about in the room.
Exactly. And some of you guys may say, well, I don't get it. Why are they doing this? Just gives you money, okay? Because I can see the question that people are having here, okay? All right. This is why the program came about. Do you remember that today, let's say Jasmine decided, you know what, I want to buy a house. Well, to buy a house, you need the bank to loan you the money. So she buys $500,000 home, and the bank's going to lend her the money and say, Jasmine, if you don't pay the mortgage on this, I'm going to take your house away. Okay. So Jasmine agrees. Yes, I will pay my mortgage. In addition to that, what do you charge me an interest rate? All the bank cares is making money on interest. You can realize it, right? But Jasmine buying the house because she hopes over the years that house will grow an asset. Okay. And that means it's one of her investment retirement. And at the same time, she has a home. Great. Bank's got the house as collateral. Well, cool. Now, we got, let's say, Ricky here. Ricky say, well, I want to buy that Tesla car. It is the coolest looking car. And Ricky turns around, I need the money. I don't want to put out $100,000 or $50,000. So he goes to the bank. The bank loans him the money. He agrees an interest rate. Hey, Ricky, you don't pay the money on the lease or the purchase of that Tesla. We are going to repossess that Tesla. Very simple. Ricky said, I'm cool. Okay. So again, the bank's interest is only making the money on the interest guy. You understand? What they decided to do, well, if I can loan money on everything else, why can't I loan money for a retirement account? Here's the problem. When they looked at 401k, mutual fund, and IRA and everything else, it's based on the stock market. It's not based on index. Meaning, if the market goes up and down, your money will fluctuate with it. If for some bad reason this daggone COVID-19 just makes everybody lose all the money with all these political stuff that's going on in the world today, they can't control that. And the banks are willing not to get their money because they have nothing to hold on it. So guess what they did, guy? They decided, okay, since mutual fund stock, all that's out of the window. Oh, whole life policy. Those New York Life Mass Mutual guy offer guarantee 4 or 5%. Here's the problem with that. If I'm the lender, I'm charging you 2-3% interest rate on the loan, and you're going to make 5%. Ricky's going to look away, forget you. I'd rather take money and play with somewhere else where I can make a ton more money. But guess what? There was only one product that the banking industry knew, that if the stock market falls below, the floor is zero. You don't lose a dime. Let me repeat that. Index product, when the stock market falls below, the floor is zero, where you don't lose a dime. And when they did this, they did a back test on this, that they figured, okay, every 2-3 years, market make money, but it's also loses money as well. So if they lose money, the floor is zero. It's like a staircase. You only make the upside. And then the bank said, well, what happened if Ricky don't pay? Whatever if people runs out? Who cares? They got the life insurance as a collateral, guys. They got a $1.5 million. So if I loan you $200,000 and you're going to run away, I've got a $1.5 million life insurance. I'll take the daggone $200,000 and your family's due net of 1.3. Do you see how this is done? And again, it is an education that I strongly believe in. A lot of minorities and women's and the entire, so many people don't know about this. Look, we're able to win over Merrill Lynch, Ameriprise, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley. Guys, I walk in these boardroom against these guys head to head all the time right now from a client standpoint. And out of 10 cases, we win 9. And for those of you who want to get in touch with Shatika and myself, I'll give you all my TV interview, the recording of all the channel. And guess what? There's more to come. You're here is because, I'm glad that you're here to hear about these new financial tools for you to have. So I guess, at this point in time, Shatika, I don't know if you want to have people that want to chime in and be able to ask questions, because I'm pretty sure they do have a lot of questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, you can raise your hand. The room is open. So basically, as soon as they raise their hand, Shirley, I'll bring them up on the stage. They can ask a question. I know you asked Jasmine to come up, and Jasmine, certainly, if you want to, or Ricky, if you guys have any questions, Jennifer. Tahita is on YouTube, and she's asking some questions. She's like, who is Shirley and what's your occupation? What is this product? She's asking a lot of questions. So I'm going to reset the room for people that are just coming in. But basically, we're talking about a Kaizen plan. First of all, Shirley is she's my business partner. And so we do business together, and we both do life insurance products. And I'm also a health insurance certified as well. But I try to stick with life as much as possible. And we help people with annuities and retirement. And I'm like a one-stop shop for everything, right? So if you're looking to learn how to do some other different things around investing in streams of income, I'm definitely I was once a Walmart store manager for a $92 million per year operation. So I figured I'd bring that same mindset into the financial services space and be a super center in terms of financial services as it relates to streams of income, as well as investing, insurance, and retirement. So that's who I am, if you don't know. But Tahita, just to answer your question, we're talking about the Kaizen plan. And this product is a product that helps people that are looking to really catch up with their retirement plan, right? So if they're looking to, for every dollar they put in, they get $3 back. Okay, so the bank is going to match them. It's called bank financing. It's going to allow them to be able to literally receive a pension style plan for the rest of their life after 15 years or 65, whichever one comes sooner. All right, so that's pretty much what we're talking about. So hopefully that helps answer your question. And you said, where would I be investing my money? And basically, yeah, so the money is going to be, it's not like you're per se investing it. It's more like you're putting it into like a loan product, you're lending it. And basically the bank is going to match you. Like I said, is bank financing. It's basically like you're having a premium and an index universal life policy. But this is an index universal life policy on steroids, in that it's actually going to be able to allow you to receive income for the rest of your life after age 65 or 15 years from when you start, whichever one comes sooner. Actually, 65 years, I'm sorry, or 15 years from the time you start, you'll be able to access the money, right? So basically, that's how it's structured. And it's anywhere from a $500,000 policy on up. So 1.5 million, 2 million, whatever the case may be. So it's literally a policy that you get to have living benefits in. So it allows you to be able to tap into your, like basically use your money for whatever you need it for while you're living, right? So if you have a need for a boat, a house, college expense, wedding expense, whatever, you can use that money while you're living. You're just going to deduct that from your benefit amount for your beneficiaries, right? But you also be able to use it as a product that allows you to have living benefits in terms of if you become chronic, critically, or terminally ill, right? So if you have dementia, heart attack, stroke, whatever, cancer, it'll give you that money that you need so that you don't have to go into your retirement account and have to use that money and become bankrupt, like 60% of people that are bankrupt are doing. They're literally going into their retirement account for medical challenges. So hopefully that answers your question.
I think the other things on paper, go on the website and look this KAIZEN plan.com. KaizenPlan.com. When you go to KaizenPlan.com, it'll explain what is it. They've got a lot of testimony as well from the attorney, CEO, very well prestigious folks all throughout the country. Again, I've learned how the rich plays the game. Okay, and for those of you who said, "Who the heck is Shirley Liu?" Please feel free to Google my name as well, Shirley Liu, L-U-U. In Google, and you will find me everywhere. If you want to go on YouTube, you'll find me as well. But if you do Shirley Liu Associates, you will see my credential, my background, all that as well. And then, we can talk offline a lot more from that capacity. Anybody else have any question? Again, the money is invested. The insurance company has the account as a policy, and the performance, how we give you credit It's based on the S&P 500 Dow Jones. And last but not least, guys, I'll be honest with you, okay? You will have an opportunity when we deliver a policy. There's a contract in the back of that policy that it has guarantee association backing it up. You know how you do go to the bank, they have FDIC insure, okay? That's called Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, that it guarantees your money if a company goes down under or the bank goes bankrupt. Well, under the product that Shatika just told you, I'm not sure if she mentioned it, but it has a backup guarantee by Guarantee Association. We cannot talk about this stuff, selling this stuff, or advertising these stuff unless we are legally certified, licensed, and all that, guys. This is no nonsense stuff. I can go to jail for talking about wrong stuff here, okay? So I take my social media, the education, and all that, and so does Shatika, very, very seriously. Somebody was trying to be a speaker earlier, Shatika. So can you add them on? I don't know.
I did. She's there. Ravonda, welcome to the
She's
stage.
already on the floor. It's Ravonda.
Welcome to the
Ravonda,
stage.
you can ask your questions.
I just wanted to know, Shirley, hi Shirley. You mentioned a website, the Casino.
Okay, I said K like kitty, A like apple, I like ice cream, Z like zebra, E like Edward, N as in Nancy, Kaizen Plan, PLAN.com.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And so this has to be, and so you would need to be a six-figure income earner.
Or household.
Or household.
It's household. It's household. Like, the husband makes $55,000 a year and the wife makes, $55,000 a year. Together is $110,000. And by the way, it doesn't care about your credit score. I don't care about your credit score. It is the lender will guarantee issue it. If your health is good, that's it. $100,000 household income and your health is good.
And is this for self-employed individuals? It doesn't have to be
yes,
or it could be 1099.
Yes,
combined.
You just have to be able to show that you have the six-figure income or household combined.
Okay, 1099. For those of you who happen to be self-employed, 1099. Okay, Shirley Lou 1099 shows $110,000. I can do this. Okay. Yeah. And by the way, guys, it's very if you get in contact with Shatika, and Shatika give your information, we'll give you a quote for you to say, oh, okay, so if I put in 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, what is, how much is the matching? How much do I have? We will customize it. And there's no charge of services, you guys. You got nothing to lose, right? Except to say, hey, you know what? I've got a bunch of money for 401k. That's sitting there. That imagine you put into this thing 1 to 3 matching. Are you kidding me? So what I'm doing right now, okay, I'll give you a real case scenario. What I'm doing right now, okay? We had another person that said, okay, I've got about $200,000 in a 401k, Shirley. Okay, front load this thing. So if I take, some of my money from my 401k, I say, well, you could. You have 2 ways to take it out. One is very simple as a withdrawal. But if you do a withdrawal, remember IRS taxes, and all those, and depends how old you are going to get a penalty on top of the 10% if you're under 59 and a half. Okay, everybody knows that. Right? Or the second option was a little smarter. I can say, I haven't touched my 401k. Really don't want to get hit with a 59 and a half rule. So how do I get around it? Guys, the best way to get around it, and you need money to fund this Kaizen plan, go and do as a loan. Now, yes, you do have to pay back the loan in a 401k, but if you're still employed, let them take that money out. But imagine if I was smart enough, I go in and take a $60,000 from my 401k. Now, first of all, I borrow against it, okay, so I have to pay monthly back. But the minute I turn around, take $60,000, put into this Kaizen plan, immediately, guys, it becomes a $1 million or $1.5 million, depends on your age and how we design this thing. Immediately. And then part of that money, let's say $20,000 a year for the next, 5 years, you're putting in $100,000, right? And the minute you put in 20, you've got another 20 matching. Is that way better than what the interest being charged on your daggone 401k? Okay, so after 5 years, you finish paying off your 401k. Now you've got a 401k, plus you now got a retirement plan that's all set for you over the side. I'm telling you, learning how to rearrange, redirect your money, do the right things, it can create wealth. That's what it's about. And understanding, how do I take $50,000, $60,000 and create $1 million more legally the right way?
Right.
Okay? So,
and the good thing about this is it's tax-free income. So that's what's most attractive about this. And most people don't think about. But, when you get income, a lot of times it's taxed. This is not taxed. So when you think about what are you going to be receiving in retirement, this is some great income to receive. For example, yeah. I did a quote a while back. It was a young man, 30 years old. He puts in like $21,000 for 5 consecutive years. The bank's matching him for years 6 through, 15 basically. And he's going to receive $145,000 every year for the rest of his life in retirement. Like, where else can you get this kind of money? Like, there's no pensions being paid out now. Like, people aren't, companies are not paying pensions. If anything, you're happy to get a bonus in the environment that we're in right now. So this is basically structuring yourself to be able to receive income in the future. Like, literally, you're purchasing income in the future by putting it away as a young person, because you're planning for your retirement.
But you see that running illustration, betting the stock market, S&P 500 and the Dow Jones and the rest of the stuff would make around 5.6% rate of return. I'm betting that the stock market for long term will only make around 5.6 averages. Now, for those of you who's on this call may say to me, hey, Joey, it's too much or too little or too high. Guys, I'm betting on the same market that you're putting your money in today in a 401k or IRA and or mutual fund or other stuff. I'm betting the same thing. The only difference is here is that index with a floor 0. Okay, so again, it goes back to understanding about your money, understanding about the finances. What have you got to lose? You say, okay, this is what I have. Can you do better? That's it. And you owe it to yourself anyway at a point of position in your life right now to do some comparison.
Absolutely. So when you think about, a lot of ways that you can make money today, some people, they don't know how to invest. So just to reset this room, if you don't know how to invest, allow the people that know how to invest for you by just putting your money into a product that you can feel secure in. So to have it in a safe haven type product such as this is, like, to me, a no-brainer. I wish I would have known about this, years ago when I was investing into some of the real estate products that I was able to invest in. That's how I was able to leave corporate, because I became a landlord over several properties. But this would have been a much less headache had I put my money into this, you know what I mean? And just allow this money to make money for me and just build up. And then, oh, by the way, I'm going to receive this secured, almost guarantee for the rest of my life, right? And and for whatever I don't use or whenever I expire, I still have a policy in place. This thing is like threefold. You get a policy. Okay, you get, living benefits with medical expenses covered, and you get that money, that income, that tax-free income every single year for the rest of your life. To me, it's like a no-brainer. I just wish someone would have introduced me to this when I was in my 20s or 30s. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can I add something? I want to step away a little bit from the Kaizen plan and something here that. Within the past couple of years, we had a client, for those of you who have parents, you may have a parents that, say, hey, they're in the 50, 60, and they're getting ready to retire. So here's a true story, okay, of a young lady. She's 61 years old. Okay, and so she comes and she goes, I only have $59,000 to my 401k, and I'm retired. I have. And I said, okay. She said, but I'm going to be getting Social Security and things like that. I'm okay. I can survive. Getting Social Security and other stuff and minor. I feel really bad. That I want to leave some kind of legacy for my family. So because I forgot to buy life insurance at later in life, and she said, but I did used to have term insurance going to work with the company, but no one ever taught me was going to end it when I leave the company. And the other things is I've been taught by those wonderful buy term invested difference in all these, eventually all those goes away too. So now I have no life insurance. I would love to have a life insurance leave for my family. Ladies and gentlemen, we took her 401k. In this a different case, I converted into an annuity that got a stream of income start coming out. The money came out of the annuity, turns right around. I took out around $2,500 a year from the annuities that she gets. That paid a $200,000 permanent life policy that if she dies tomorrow, in the future, she will leave her family a legacy of $200,000. But if she gets into a long-term care, she's got access to $200,000 opportunities. If she get hurt, get sick, and if nothing happened to this woman down the road, cash value built up inside of this life insurance. Now, if anything happens to her, she's still got money from the annuity to leave her family and a $200,000 life insurance, right? So think about creating wealth from your own personal or from other folks. I'm only giving this scenario because this is what it is. I get real excited when Shatika invite me and talks about these kind of things, is because I do believe in what I do, and I believe in helping clients, and I do believe in changing the lives of those who wants to change. Some of you, I'm sure, will reach out to Shatika after you. It's going to go back. That's nice. Okay, bye. But I highly encourage you guys, do that. Reach out to her, you guys, because I think it's very powerful for you, to be able in this position. And then last but not least, for any of you guys here say, you know what, hey, Shirley, what you're showing and educating, I may be interested in partnering with you. Then reach out to Shatika. Say, hey, I've got a whole platform of people, speakers and all stuff like that. Guys, I'm looking to hire about 1,000 people right now to help me doing all the other stuff that I have. So again, I'm encouraged partnership in these kind of things. Okay.
So good. So very good. So if you're someone that's looking for another stream of income, and Shirley basically just opened it up, that we are definitely hiring for anyone that's looking to maybe become an insurance agent, broker, however you want to call it, but literally helping people to level up in their finances. And that's one of the reasons why I started doing it, because I started, with the Generational Wealth Symposium. And from that point on, I knew that this is where I needed to be to help people, because people are looking for answers. They're looking for solutions. And, there's been no other more rewarding career or profession that I've been in, and I'm an Army officer, combat veteran, all that good stuff, corporate executive, all that. Shaniqua knows, she and I are both store managers for Walmart. But at the end of the day, this has been the most rewarding role that I've ever been in, because I'm helping people with real life problems, solve real life problems, when it comes to finances. And so if this is something that interests you, certainly would love for you to partner with us so that you can help us to get the word out about products such as the Kaizen Plan and so many other great products that's out there.
Yeah. Hey, Otis, Triana, and Danelia, and Shannon, and Ravonda, and Jasmine. I see all of you guys here, and Ricky. I would love to hear for your input on this. Can you unmute yourself and make comments or ask questions?
If anybody have any questions, definitely want you to. This is a great time to ask. Everybody that's up on the stage they don't necessarily have a question. So if you're out out there in a room and you want to ask a question, just raise your hand and we'll definitely bring you up so you can ask.
This is Jasmine. Thanks
hey,
for
Jasmine.
Hey, Shatika. I'm glad I made it. I rushed my live.
Yes. Glad you came. Thank you.
Yes, I'm thankful. And this is my first time. Shatika and I had a conversation earlier today for a separate business meeting that we had, and she was talking to me about this. So I decided to come on and support and to learn about the product as a six-figure earner. So my question would be, how exactly is the process for approval? Is it based on, what is it all based on? It's just the numbers. It's not health-based. It's not age-based. It's just hit the six-figure mark. And
okay,
no,
so
it is health-based. But
health. No,
Yeah,
that's it.
that's the only thing. But of course, the bank does have, an opportunity to make money off of this as well. So there is something in it for them as well, right? So the goal is just to get you to, they want to help you at the same time, but for you to put your money up first. And so they only want to deal with people that they know can afford to do this. And so that's why they're asking for you to be a six-figure earner, right? It's because they don't want you to default, because it's kind of like a loan, so to speak. So it's a loan, for 15 years, if you will, right? You just let it sit there and let it grow into this huge amount of money that you'll be able to then be able to receive for the rest of your life in retirement. So the goal is that you're healthy, and that's it. And you make six figures so that you can be able to pay the 5 years of consecutive, whatever amount that is. So when we do the consultation with you, depending on your age, the older you are, the more you have to pay, of course, right? To receive the most money in retirement. But it is, like, because it's going to be sitting there for 15 years, banks make money off money that's in their account. So they're making money for 15 years, right? But you'll also be able to have the security of having access to tax-free income for the rest of your life. So it's a win-win-win situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so again, Jasmine, connect with Shatika, and then she can share with you this stuff. But let me tell you, the platform of what I just tell you about, I am getting ready to go to almost every corporation, human resources, at events. We've got enough connection there. Let me tell you, the minute we get in front of every DC executive that in human resources and they hear about this program, that we could roll out to the individual, or I can go to a small business symposium, business leader like you, Jasmine, where entrepreneurs, and imagine if you knew about these things, how it exists. You know how much business that would be? It's huge. The opportunity is just huge. Okay? So don't let anyone ever tell you anything otherwise, guys. It's new day, new dawn, and it's a new beginning of us just learning stuff, from the 2021.
I want to answer another question that's on YouTube. Tahita, I missed this other one. You said, I hear you talking about investing 10K and 20K. Suppose you don't have that much to invest. Well, if you don't have that much to invest, then there's other products that are also index universal life policy, because that's pretty much what this is, but with the attachment of being able to, pay out, in retirement. But yeah, you can still do an index universal life policy and structure it very similarly, right? But it's just that it's not going to be as much money that you're going to receive in retirement. All right. And you don't have to, leave it there for 15 years and it's a loan. It's a totally different structure, but you still can structure it to, and I say structure, it's a totally different structure in terms of it's not a bank loan, but you still can structure to be able to receive income at some point, right? In retirement. So if you don't have that amount, then we can just give you a lesser product, like less than $500,000 policy, basically.
Yeah. Shatika, the people that's listening on YouTube, they could hear me, right? Right?
Yes, they can. They sure can.
Okay. So back to what you're saying. I'll tell you, this is a true story, and it is nothing short of amazing. I had this 32 years old young man. Okay, he came to me 13 years ago, and he said, "Look, I want to invest, but I don't have a lot of money." So I said to him, I said, "Look, can you save $5 a day?" Okay, and he said, $5 a day. I said, "Yeah, $5 a day, $150 a month." Jasmine, do you know he saved $150 a month? He said, "Well, what is this going to get me?" I said, "Okay, I'm going to run you a hypothetical." Okay, it's an index IUL. It's not a Kaizen, but it's a very small policy with $200,000 death benefit, and we're going to use the life insurance, okay, as a shelter of your money, and you can have a chance to grow. And at 67, we are going to give you a distribution income. Now, if you promise me that you put $5 in, $5 in every day, $150 a month into your retirement account, then hopefully, if the market does well, 5-6% return, then maybe down the road of $45,000 tax-free income if you put in $5. He goes, "Really? $150? I can get 45? Yeah. I said, "Remember, tax-free." Shatika said tax-free, which means it's like you're going to work getting a $65,000 to $70,000 pension plan or getting money from a 401k. You understand that, right? He said, "I get it." You know what happened yesterday? I went in literally in his account. I said, okay, oh my God. I did this quote 13 years ago. I still have my old paperwork. For those of you guys who wants to get a copy of this, I deleted the name to protect the innocent. And I said, I ran hypothetical. If 13 years later, I would like to see how much money he has. Now, keep in mind, when you run a hypothetical illustration, you hope in 13 years that the amount in the cash value column would have the amount that you run as an illustration, right? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, that statement, when I pulled up, it has more money than what my illustration has already said. So the way I predict this now, that, oh my God, that means when this kid retired, he's not going to get $45,000. I lied to him. More likely, he'll get $60,000. That's like getting a $90,000 income stream. You owe it to yourself to compare these kind of things. It's, guys, it start with $1 a day, $2, $5, $10, but you got to start somewhere. Okay? Yeah. So.
Very good. Very good. So are there any other questions? I want to say that I wanted to do this weekly on Thursdays with different topics. So if you're someone that's interested in knowing more around financial services or, anything as it relates to, streams of income, retirement, things of that nature, I'm definitely going to be on here on Thursdays. Now, I know that we have our meeting on Thursdays as well, Shirley, and definitely was going to do that after that. So I'm looking at doing it at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right, on Thursdays. So if you can mark your calendar, the topics of discussion, I'll try to get that out as well as much as possible. Tahita is saying, yes, I can hear, but it cut out a little bit, Shirley, when you talked about investing $150 a month. So how long would I have to invest $150 and when will I see a return?
Okay. Well, the question is that retirement takes a process 10, 15, 20 years longer. Don't expect putting $150 5 years, say, oh, I have all this money. No, guys, that's unrealistic. Okay. You know that you put in money, 401k and all that. It takes 10, 20, 30, 40 years. So don't expect retirement income to make it overnight. Okay.
Very good question. Very good response. All right. Yeah. Any other questions? We definitely don't want to be long. We want to be strong. And we're right at about 1 hour and 6 minutes. Go ahead, Ricky.
Yeah, I have a question. What if I want to retire in 5 years? How affordable would that be to a planet?
Okay, Ricky, if you want to retire in 5 years, I can make you retire within a day or 30 days. This is how you determine retirement. Income versus expense. Okay? And by the way, there are products out there today, Ricky, that can take your retirement account, 401k, IRA, and any of those, convert it into a stream of income immediately within 30 days. Okay? So, how much of that money depends on how much money you need and depends on how much money that we could do the rollover and all that stuff. I mean, again, everybody's personal, separately, and we would have that candid conversation privately. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question. As soon as we, a lot of times people can't retire or don't retire because of their living expenses. So when they reduce that, they can retire sooner. So great question, great response. Any other questions? Right, this was great. Thank you, Shirley, for coming in and helping to liven up the room. Shaniqua, thank you so much for helping to moderate, and all the people that's on the stage that came up to speak and ask questions. And I think if we don't have any other questions on YouTube or here, then I will end the room.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Shirley.
Bye.
Did you have a question or? Okay. All right. Anybody on YouTube? I have ended the room. Anybody have a question on YouTube? All right, no other questions. I am going to end the broadcast. If you want to get in contact with me, just go to shatika.com and certainly schedule a complimentary consultation. And I'm happy to help you as well. Thank you. Have a good night.